Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are doing good. Sunday morning. Thought I'd do something a little different this morning. See here what's going on. What's going on? We'll give it a minute. Okay. Got one person, one like already. Hey, happy Sunday. Hope you're doing good. Are we there yet? We're on the road. I can tell you that. We're definitely on the road. Joke, joke. You know what I mean? I wanted to read you guys something that I had. Okay. Okay. What was the thing? Yeah, here it is. Yes, here we go. Okay, yeah, this is it right here. Okay, this to that. Okay, yep, from there to there. Okay. Hey guys, what's going on? Greetings from Oklahoma. Let's see who's all Joe, Laura, what's up, man? Jeffrey, Candy. Love that name, Candy. SK. How you doing? I hope you're good. Denise, how are those piggies? Got 43 people, 20 likes. Good job. Great day, everybody. Hey, happy Sunday. Thought I'd do it on a Sunday because tomorrow is just so prevalent. It's just so, I mean, tomorrow is just such a big day. It's already a big day since, Sadani already left. But I wanted to talk about a little bit more about these banks, about what this financial inclusion means. I wanted to give you a little bit of tidbit into what my insights is. And maybe you like it, maybe you don't. You know what I mean? Hey, it's all good if you don't. It's all love. You know what I mean? Hey, Dr. Woody, good to see you. Jeffrey Dockett, Margarita Man, gang, Melvin. When you see me, you know what to say. I just want to say again, thank you guys for the positive support. And again, you guys keep this going. I'm gonna keep it going. So we're gonna give it just basically about another 40 seconds. And then we're going to yeah, I think this weekend is pretty much, I think it's a wrap. I was told to talk to you guys a little bit today. So, hey, good to see you again, Nas. Yes, drop some bombs. Yeah, I got a couple bombs here I think that are pretty good. What up, Laws? I hope you're doing well too. So we got what about 15 seconds left? Okay, and I'll read you this article. I'll give you the synopsis. I'll tell you my thoughts, and then we'll call it a day. How about that? Okay. Um, 6 seconds. What up, fam? Hope you guys are doing well. Hey, Jay Lee, good to see you, brother. Mm. All right, let's do this. Okay, so on in the economy news, we have been a few days away from the upcoming meeting of the Prime Minister with the US President and the administration, making it very important in this critical and complex stage that the banking system is going through, that the agenda of the meeting and negotiations with these leaders of the US administration, the Treasury Department, and the US Federal Reserve. Now, remember, if you guys go back about 3 weeks, remember when the Iraqi finance minister and his people were meeting with the US Treasury? And I want to say it was somewhere in Europe or Greece or somewhere. They were having ongoing meetings, ongoing negotiations. And that's what I was trying to explain to you last week, that I truly believe that these things have already been predetermined before he gets to the meeting, which he's already left for yesterday. So, yes, with that being said, with them already moving the Iraq fund, the FDI, from a singular fund that the United States controlled to the Iraqi 2 fund, which the Iraqis control, under the assumption that the U.S. coalition forces are going to leave and they're going to be replaced. Now, remember, the U.S. coalition forces being replaced by the UN soldiers is basically a swap. Okay, they're going to take away the 2,500 or 3,000 American troops. I truly believe they're going to insert 2,500 to 3,000 NATO troops, because NATO cannot occupy a nation. That's why they're switching out those troops. So the understanding is that with the U.S. occupation going on and the dissolution of 13303, that now Iraq is truly sovereign, right? With them being sovereign, having control of their own oil and wealth, these things had already been talked about. So when Ali al-Laq the other day said, hey, look, I've already put together a package for the president to turn over to the U.S. Treasury and the U.S. financial service people of what we're going to do as far as the reforms go to the banking infrastructure, I believe all that was signed off and okay. Okay. Now, One important fall will be included that the discussions with the participation of the central bank and the Association of the Private Banks is subject to financial banking reform and protect the Iraqi banking sector from collapse. Now, they're not going to collapse. Yes, they did. Yes, they did sanction 28 banks, which represents about 50% of the total private side of the banking institution in Iraq. However, if it was going to fail, it would have already failed. Understand what I'm saying? So, no, the banking system will not fail, but expect for a restructuring of those banks. Remember when the government went through last time when they were having issues with the banks getting it's not online, excuse me, in line with what the Treasury Department did? The government went inside, bought the banks or closed the banks, assumed them under the governmental side, and the banks were ran and they were allowed to stay open. So that's probably something that's going to happen. So even if all 28 banks don't come back online, I see, like, let's say it's 15, that leaves 13 left. I could see those banks being dissolved or somehow reconstructed, restructured into the government fold. And that way, everybody gets what they want, right? Remember, in a negotiation, it has to be good for you and it has to be good for them. Joe Biden's going to have some requests that he's going to want, which is probably a hold off on them selling oil, especially in if they do join BRICS. They don't want them selling. And somebody told me that last week. They're like, BRICS is different. No, BRICS is different than SWIFT. You can be a member of SWIFT and you can be a member of BRICS. It doesn't matter. Eventually they're going to do it because all these GCC nations, in my opinion, which is humbly spoke, is that they are going to try to eventually sell oil in their native currency. When people talk about the currency being backed in gold, I don't believe that's the gold. They're not talking about yellow gold. They're talking about their currency being backed in black gold, which is then be the availability through BRICS for them to sell their oil or basically sell their oil through the petro dinar, which would give it a huge backing, which would create more supply times velocity, which give it an inherent more value. Okay. He pointed out the inputs and outputs of this important visit must convince the American side to reconsider the sanctions and the restrictions imposed, especially since all affected banks are currently subject to scrutiny by the K2 International. And this confirms the good faith of the banks that the reason for depriving them in dealing in US dollars was not serious with intentional mistakes, meaning that they did not purposely screw up. They screwed up because they weren't doing what they were supposed to do incorrectly. And once they went through that K2 International, let's say, audit, they found that they were not in compliance and they changed it. It's not a big deal. It's really simple. The importance of reactivating and protecting the private banking system and ensuring its results of its work through the electronic platform 2023, which confirmed its safety and transparency. Now, you guys got to understand, part of the other reason why Sadani wants those banks back online, because they are private, and the private banking sector is also help subjugating a big profit center in the ISX stock exchange. Some of the most expensive stocks that the stock exchange, or excuse me, the most profitable stocks on that exchange. Yeah, bonds don't really do anything for me. So yeah, I heard about bonds, but yeah, bonds are easy. This is much more complex because what you're talking about is with those 28 banks, they are the ability to transfer more remittance in different currencies. I'm not saying that's bad, Sammy. I'm just not concentrating on it. It's not bad. I'm not looking at it to that degree because everybody sells bonds. It's just a way of mitigating debt. So the idea there is that if they have a way to get more foreign remittance, even if in dollars, because they need to put those dollars, even if through the Petro Fund, back into those banks, then they could change those currencies out into different currencies. That's where the problem lies in having those 28 banks dormant. It hurts their ability to finance trade, and which is what this channel has always talked about. How much trade, how cheap it is. And of course, with that, they need to go ahead and subjugate. And that's why they're going to have a change in the value of the dinar. Contra to most people's belief, the purchasing power goes to the state. The people get purchasing power because of the dinar coming out with a positive value. But the purchasing power, therefore, becomes better for the state because that way it can mitigate its import exports better. Okay, it will be more efficient. It will be cheaper for them. So this is what the synopsis of this reads. Yes, the Iraqi government likely needs these banks online to complete part of its banking reform. The restrictions imposed on these 28 private banks by the U.S. Treasuries has had a significant impact on the Iraqi banking sector, particularly in terms of the ability to deal in U.S. dollars, which is crucial for international banking relations and commercial dealings. Commercial dealings are basically them talking about trade. How am I going to finance? How am I going to pay for trade? So Reactivating these banks and resolving these restrictions would not only help stabilize the banking sector, but also contribute to the success of the overall financial and banking reform efforts of Iraq. It would ensure the continuity of services, strengthen confidence in the banking system, right? Especially to the people there. And good afternoon and good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are all doing really well. So, but it also plans for the financial reform, including and maintaining a stable exchange rate and supporting the national economy. Remember, they don't need to change the rate to keep on the path that they're on, but for them to be a leader, they have to change the rate because it's going to help them have better trade balances. It's going to have a stronger economy. It's going to have better. It's going to have the best banking system out there, and it's also going to boost the national economy, which is what everybody wants. Additionally, the inclusion of these banks in the reform process is vital for ensuring a comprehensive and effective overhaul of the banking sector, as they play a significant role in the Iraqi economy. Therefore, reaching quick solutions to resolve restrictions, brings these banks back online, is essential for the success of the reform package in Iraq. And that is the big part of the reason why they are there. I'll give you guys a little bit of something else here. Oh, let's talk about the pipeline real quick. So if you guys don't know this, the pipeline that went from Kirkuk all the way to Turkey Cheyenne, there was two of them. The reason why they had not activated that pipeline back is not because of the Kurds holding everything up and they're kicking the can. None of that stuff happened. It didn't happen at all. What happened is they built a secondary pipeline that runs the same length from the same distance from Kirkuk all the way to Cheyenne. That secondary pipeline is being repaired and fixed because of the damages that were incurred because of the earthquakes and stuff. But that secondary pipeline is the pipeline that the Iraqi government controls. They want to null and void the other pipeline because Russia gets basically a percentage points off of them shipping oil to it because they're part owners of it. Iraq, to be sovereign, has to control all its natural energy. The one thing they will not negotiate off of is their oil, because that is truly their biggest asset. So the reason why they hadn't had that pipeline open is because the secondary pipeline, the one that Iraq federals control, is the one that's going to go. This pipeline is likely to be ready to operate by the end of the month and the repair work. Now, if it is operational by the end of the month, the question that I would have for everybody is, because Barzani has been in talks with Sadani all this time, and they're still making payments as far as the Kurdistan region's salaries goes, I wonder if they worked out the oil process, or excuse me, part of the oil and gas law that would give the Kurds their fair share of its oil rights. And Sammy says, what do you think is going to happen once it returns to Iraq? Hopefully, is the right behind him. I think that's kind of the pace that I'm at. I expect the banks to come back online. I expect for them to start the process, hopefully, if they haven't already done so, of deletion of the 3 zeros. And I really believe that's happening, especially with them being sovereign by themselves, as far as controlling their own petrodollars. I expect to see that happen. I expect to see the process of the 3 zeros happen. And they've already said, I had a person that's in the group, and we were talking about it, and I'm not going to mention their name because of whatever. Their country that they're natively from went through the process of the 3 zeros in the late 90s. And everybody's thinking that there's going to be some grandstanding and some big announcements. You're going to see it here. You're going to see it there. No, it didn't happen that way. What happened was they were in town for vacation, visiting family. The deletion of the 3 zero process had already started in country. They went to market, bought, exchanged some dollars for currency, got new currency, spent it, found out they had a little bit more purchasing power, and it went through like a thief in the night. No fanfare, no Forex revelations, nothing. And the reason is because it's going to, now back then in the 90s, remember, the internet wasn't the same. So the internet now is going to be the way that we figure out what's happening much, much faster. But I expect the process to be the same. No huge announcements, none of that stuff, because there was no educational process needed. You went in there, your currency was worth, it was different. It was worth more because the zeros were lopped off of it. Not lopped, sorry, that's a horrible word. The zeros were taken off of it and they were allowed to go forward. And I believe that process, we're in that process now. We're waiting for Sadani to get back to confirm it, but I believe that's the process that we're in right now. That's all I got for you guys. Where is your coin? Oh, in the room. I switch out jewelry all the time. Hadn't worn it. I wear it. I like it a lot. It's very special to me. So I only wear it on certain occasions. Today we have a little brunch action going on, so we're going to keep it brief today. I hope this gives you some clarity into what's going on with the pipeline, which gives you some insight into the oil and gas law. I also hope this gives you some insight into um, the banking reform system and how important that is. Also, I want you to think about how important it is for them to come out with successes on both sides. So Ani's not going to go in there and kick Joe Biden's butt and Joe Biden's not going to kick his butt. Neither one of them can take a failure. Okay. A failure would be detrimental to everything that they're trying to do. Anytime, anytime. If you guys like this chat, I want you guys next time. I love that Nas. Why put it in there? Next time you can put hearts, you can put numbers, you can put whatever, or you can put kangaroos. Y'all notice we're not in any guru sites on purpose. We do not support the guru mentality. Remember, simplicity is best. If you like the information, like it. You don't like it, great. No problem. We're not here for you. We're here for the people that like it. Now, we get those likes up. We get everything going. If it surpasses or it stays on track with the previous weeks, we'll do another one next week. If not, we'll give you guys a break and let you guys think about it a little bit. You can get information anywhere. It's your choice. And I just appreciate you stopping by here so you can get a little bit from me. You guys have a fantastic day. Remember, put those kangaroos, those hearts, those numbers in the chat after we shut it down. Have a fantastic Sunday. Look for great news to come out in the next couple of days, at least by Wednesday. What's the emoji for the live? Kangaroos, Jeffrey Brown. Kangaroos. We want kangaroos in the chat. Counterculture something. Yeah, piggies. We love piggies. We love puppies. You can put any animals you want. We love animals in the chat. And you guys have a kick-ass day. Remember, simplicity. Keep it simple. It doesn't have to be complex. And remember, don't give your currency to anybody. Hold your currency, okay? Remember, Shadani said your currency will be more valuable than any currency in the region. Look at the basket of currencies they're dealing with: the yuan, the dollar, the euro, the yen, the lira. To be more powerful in all those is north of a number all of you guys are excited to see. So he said that. Now, he did have some huge announcements during what do you call it, Ramadan. They might extend the holiday right now, but don't let that freak you out. Keep it simple. What do you think of? I don't know. I don't care about that, Tony Robinson. That's weird. You're a weirdo. Anyway, you guys have a fabulous day. And we will talk later on and have a blessed one.